Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are with me, Ridwan Rosli, for the first time in the year 2018. And this is our first show, first Hot Talk show for this year. And today we have a very, very interesting topic. And of course, we have, again, somebody who's not, I think it's, we can consider as a usual because this is third time already in my Suara FM Hot Talk with me, my good friend Azwan Omar. Today talking with me about Felda 2.0, and Mr. Azwan Omar is here today as the special officer, the first special officer to the chairman of Felda, Tan Sri Syarul Samad. Thank you very much for being here with us today, Azwan.
Thank you again. Thank you for inviting me. I think it's already third time. I thought you guys bored already with me.
No, we love you. We love you. Just to show that how much we love you. That's why we have you today for the third time. Azwan, yeah. I think I'm gonna call him his nickname, his pet name today. I think he's more comfortable with Roy, R-O-Y, Roy. So Roy, yeah. Today we'll be talking about, first of all, Felda 2.0, and I think a lot of listeners outside there not only want to talk about Felda, but when we talk about Felda, there's so many issues and there's so many controversies with Felda right now. But I think it's fair for us to talk not only about Felda 2.0 today, but also what's going on with palm oil. A lot of people are talking about palm oil, but I think also a lot of people outside there doesn't really get, what's the real thing, what's going on. Anyway, I think, Azwan, yeah.
Yes.
Would you like to start?
Yeah, I thought I'm going to talk more about 2.0, but I do agree with the palm oil issues.
We'll start with palm oil first. Then only people going to see the relevance of Felda 2.0. Yes, I think, to be fair.
Yes, thank you very much. About what happened to palm oil today, I think it's. I believe lots of people out there know already that we are facing a threat of economic sanction, a threat of economic war with the European Union. As I should share with you guys here, the European Union is our third largest commodity. They are the third, the buyers, the third largest. The first one would be India and China, and then third one is the European Union. So what happened was back in 2017, in April, so the European Parliament, one of the three branches of the European Union, the European Parliament, table motions to limit the usage of palm oil as a biofuel under the Renewable Energy Directive. So what is it all about?
All right,
you say that don't use palm oil as a biofuel.
Then use what?
I don't know. But because right now palm oil is such sustainable edible oil, it does not being used as minyak masak, cooking oil, but being used in wide range of products like the soap, right, and Ferrero Rocher.
All right.
The Nutella itself.
Okay.
The Nutella, the chocolate that we love so much, we always dip our fingers and then start licking around. Licking your finger.
Okay. Start licking around. Licking around. Licking around says
around the finger.
All right. Okay. Licking the finger then is okay. Dip your finger in Nutella and start licking around. Some people might get the wrong.
But again, because it's just too wide, right? So a lot of our product will be affected, and then because of the usage of many products, Malaysia as one of the biggest. I think only Malaysia and Indonesia has the biggest. Is currently the biggest exporter of palm oil. We control around 80% of the world.
All right. So basically, in simple words, is the EU doesn't want to buy our palm oil anymore.
Yes.
And how much are we talking about? That one is per year.
The total amount of our export, based on the recorded
palm
by
oil
FME,
alone.
Palm oil alone is 80 billion ringgit.
So meaning to say that, this is going to start in
2020.
2020. So in 2020, we would have a surplus of palm oil worth 80 billion.
Yes.
So meaning to say that these people want to boycott our economy in a way that they don't want to buy our stuff. They don't want to buy Malaysian stuff that
Yes.
worth 80 billion.
So if the production of
So there's a
palm
lot
oil-
of money.
Yes, if the production of palm oil still stay the same, assuming that,
Yes.
and with the lesser demand from the EU because they banned that thing off, meaning to say that the price will go down because we're going
Definitely
to
the price gonna
unload. And then
the price gonna go
the one will be
haywire.
affected is Felda settlers.
Definitely, and I think in a bigger perspective, not only the Felda settlers, but of course Malaysia itself as a country.
Oh yeah,
With
obviously.
80 billion, I mean, it's like people stop buying our stuff worth 80 billion ringgit. That's a lot of money. And I
Yes.
think if you compare it to some other sectors, or even we export other stuff. I mean, yeah, I know that we export a lot of stuff, but yeah, not a lot of stuff are worth 80 billion ringgit
Yes,
a year.
exactly. That is why the idea of Felda 2.0 came at the right time, at the right moment, where we are facing this threat by the European Union. It's not a total ban yet because it's just one part of the European Union, right?
All
because
right.
it's in the Parliament. So
Okay.
for that to be in effect in 2020, they must have a legal, meaning to say a law, a EU law, which will be drafted by the European Commission and then must be agreed by all 28 members of European Union.
All right, but what I heard, I mean, the recent news says that the French doesn't agree with it now.
Exactly.
So the French say, so 1 out of 28.
Yeah, one of the Swedish.
All right, so the French and the Swedish say that they don't want to ban our palm oil.
Yes.
So it just is it because they love our palm oil so much?
I think there are several other factors. Okay, because palm oil is such a major contributor in a major part or portion in our exports overseas. The other product and services will be affected also.
All right, so does the French and the Swedish consume a lot of our palm oil?
I think consume maybe indirectly or directly. Maybe they don't know.
Or maybe they love Nutella so much.
Yes, exactly.
The
You know
French and the Swedish, they love Nutella so much. That's why, and they love their Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why they don't want to ban palm oil.
Let me share your story. This is a quote from the Ferrero Rochers. They own Nutella.
All right.
The company.
Okay, that is something new. I didn't know that.
Yes, they own Nutella. So
Okay.
so they made a public statement saying that even because they love the quality of our palm oil, and then they said only palm oil can give the solid texture that many or millions of people around the world right now enjoy the Nutella. Because if they use some other edible oil, they cannot get that shiny and the texture that we love so much.
Okay, this another thing. I mean, just trying to be a bit critical.
Yeah.
Doesn't if this ban go on, isn't it a good thing? Because Nutella and Ferrero Rocher is now forced to have their own factory here in Malaysia instead of in the European Union. Because if they
in a way.
need it so much, so they need to move everything over here.
Yeah, in a way, yes. But again, this just a small part of it, which is chocolates and whatever. There are a lot of other application when it comes to palm
okay.
oil. There's a large, big portion of it in edible oil, which is cooking oil. And then right now, the world is getting bigger. Population also, we're getting bigger. And then palm oil is the most sustainable edible oil it can use to produce foods. Food
Okay.
is very important now. Nutella and Ferrero Rocher is considered as a food also, but we in Malaysia we can look that thing as a luxury stuff.
All right.
Those who have more money can also. But the small part, like to fry, right? To fry an egg, for example, right? The best oil is still palm oil.
All right. Okay. So there's more to it than just Nutella and Ferrero Rocher.
Yes.
So that's why palm oil now is a big issue. We've seen for the past like couple of weeks and also couple of months. There's even rallies going around in the capital city, passing memorandums to the consulate.
Yeah, I was there.
To the European consulate. Yeah, do you mind sharing a bit about that?
Yeah, I was there because the council, the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, the one who actually represent the players, right? One part of Felda as one of major palm oil producer in the country, also be part of MPOC in a way, right?
Okay.
So because this thing, like you said, the price of CPO will go down.
Okay.
And if the price of CPO going down, the income of Felda settlers, the 112,635 Felda settlers will get affected. Right now, they are earning at the current price 2,600 ringgit per ton metric. It's around 3,000 to 3,500 a month.
All right.
So imagine the excess of palm oil later on if the ban took effect, right? When our country has to unload everything, we have to sell cheap. So their income might be affected, right?
Yeah.
So under that, right, cognizant of that situation, so Felda said, look, this is not about something like just oil. This is about the livelihood of Felda settlers, which you know already, my friend. You went to a lot of Felda settlement. You see themselves. They are in the rural area.
Yes.
So Felda said, no, this must be stopped. We must show that any threat of banning of palm oil will cause an adverse effect to the Felda settlers. That's why we march. We marched to the EU mission in Malaysia in Menara Tan Intan. I was there. I was there with chairman of Felda.
All right.
I was there with the president of the Smallholder Association and couple of other associations from Sabah and Sarawak. We were there and we expressed that this is bad. This is not just because your oil is better than our oil. Our oil is obviously better, but we want to make sure that our people have enough money because palm oil already proven elevate themselves from abject poverty to at least a middle class.
All right. Okay, right. I don't want to interrupt the fire, but I think we're going to take a short break first. And ladies and gentlemen, this is at Shireen. Today with me, Ridwan Rosli, and we are on fire with Azwan Omar, talking about palm oil and Felda 2.0. It is very, very closely related. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of issues or so-called controversies with Felda, and also we are listening. We have been hearing a lot of things about palm oil. It is said that it's going to be banned. We're going to lose at least 80 billion ringgit per year, ladies and gentlemen, by the EU not buying our oil. So yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
It's definitely a lot more than 2.6 billion, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so talking about 80 billion ringgit and palm oil, just now you were saying just now, Azwan, that these people, you guys already march. I mean, the settlers, I mean, the people who's really going to be affected by this boycotting.
Yes.
And the people they made a decision saying that there's no more buying of Malaysian palm oil.
Yeah.
Is there any good reason at all for them to do that?
I can't speak. First of all, it's not a boycott.
All right.
Okay, what they did.
I look at it as a boycott.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That is my personal opinion.
What they're trying to do to our palm oil is to ban. Ban implies legally they cannot import whatsoever related to palm oil to in their union, so-called, right?
All right.
So a boycott means that it's a choice. So what we can do now, if you want to retaliate to the European Union, if they still want to see this through, is to boycott their product here.
All right, wait. They say they want to ban. They want to ban palm oil.
Yes.
Does it mean that they want to ban Nutella and Ferrero Rocher?
No. They are banning palm oil. Actually, let me tell you a story, and let me be clear with you. The first part is to ban the usage of palm oil in the renewable energy, the biofuel. Okay.
All right.
Number
okay.
one. But that will create a precedent, and precedent by those who being paid by lobbyists of the canola, of the rapeseed, whatsoever, as a precedent and a reason to ban the usage of palm oil in other products like Nutella and Ferrero Rocher.
All right. So meaning to say right now, I would assume that the decision was made maybe through lobbying and all of this company because they don't want to compete with Malaysian palm oil.
Because they can't compete.
They can't compete with Malaysian palm oil.
Yeah.
Would it be wise for Malaysian or even Felda as one of the major player to pay them back? I mean, let's pay them a lot more. Because that's how they want to play it. They want to play with money. Hey, come on, this is Malaysia we're talking about. If you are paying some money, trust me, Malaysian can pay a lot more money than that. Because we are talking about 80 billion.
I don't I don't see like that. You just quoted Cash is King right now.
Yeah, because why? Because they are trying to boycott something. They're trying to ban something which is worth 80 billion through lobbying. So what can we do? I mean, it's like the way I look at it. Why not spend 10% out of it, like 8 billion, to buy over all these people?
You're sounding like YB Wong Chen from Petaling Jaya of PKR right now. I mean, taking 10% of the 80 billion is yes, it is. It is part of the opposition's budget, saying that take 10% of the total export of the palm oil and then use that as to do marketing, promoting or lobbying. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. In
All
Malaysia,
right.
we are very civil.
All right.
And then we know we take our decision very slowly.
So are we gonna focus on after this? Are we gonna focus on prayers? For example, adakah kita akan buat majlis doa selamat supaya benda ni tak berlaku? And we do prayers, at every single Felda. and then Maulana, we do that.
Actually, we are doing it. Because
I think that would be a great idea. Because what? Because again, as Malaysian, we are in hot talk. One of the reasons that you guys tune into hot talk is because it's always hot.
No, it's all hot and steamy hot,
Yeah.
But again, let me back to the real story. I mean,
all right.
We do have some lobbying, we do have some promotion, but again, the most important thing is to educate those European Parliament, those in the lawmaker in the European Parliament, that look, what you are doing right now will be a catastrophic effect to the smallholders,
especially to the 100,000 plus Felda settlers.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm representing Felda, but I'm working right now with Felda. I can say that what they are trying to do, and if they succeed to do, it will affect tremendously.
Just out of curiosity, how big are we talking about? I mean, this plantation, this palm oil plantation,
right, okay,
in Malaysia.
Let me give you a story. Okay, this is the facts. This is the numbers. We have 650,000 smallholder, which is not a plantation company. Those the like of FGV, those the like of Samdabi. They are estates, but smallholders. Individual that holds less than 100 acres.
Okay.
Right? And Felda settlers only 10 acres each.
All right.
Each one of them have 10 acres, and that 10 acres give them at least right now with current price 3,000 to 3,500 a
Wait,
month.
so one settlers have 10 acres. All right.
The whole Felda settlers is 10 acres.
All right. So every Felda settlers get 10 acres.
Yes.
So we are talking about 100,000 plus settlers.
Yes.
So are we talking about 1 million plus acres of
Yes.
palm oil in Malaysia alone?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So that's a huge plantation.
There's a huge plantation, but remember, this is not new plantation. Okay, it's been as a settlers, they opening up since back then. Alright, Felda was the first Felda ever in the world, not just in Malaysia, in the world, because there's no such thing as Felda scheme in the rest
Which
of the
is
world.
back in 1956 by Tun Razak, right?
Yes.
All right.
You're
Okay.
right, man.
All right. So back in 1956, just to share a bit of history, 1956, Tun Razak, who is the father of our current Prime Minister, Najib Tun Razak, opened the first Felda, which I was very, very lucky to be able to visit, which was last weekend. It was Bilod, Felda Bilod. It was a very interesting, for me personally, it was a very interesting trip. Went there with my wife, see what Felda is all about, and we had a chance to see the first ever Felda it is. And right now, they are talking about Felda 2.0. But anyway, before we go to Felda 2.0, and maybe a lot of people will be asking, what is Felda 2.0? But to start with, a lot of people outside that, I bet, doesn't know what Felda is all about. Some people say, oh, Felda, FGV, they lose their land, this and that. They got millions or billions. They got like their own power and all. So anyway, just from that, just a sneak peek, talking about just a bit of that. We don't really want to talk about it today. It's going to be another hot talk session if we just want to talk about the issues alone. How's Felda right now?
I think Felda, as a government agency, created under Act of Parliament, We are doing well. We get back our land.
All right.
We have this mantra. We said we take first, talk later. That
All
is
right.
our land. You know, people know about the issues roaming around Felda. I can assure you that Felda is in right hand under the leadership of Yang Muhammad Tan Sri Syarif Samad. We are okay.
All right. Yeah, I just want to share a bit to the listeners about Tan Sri Syarif Samad. What's interesting, I was there at the
Launching.
at the launching of Felda 2.0, and it's very, very interesting to know that Tan Sri Syarif Samad was the political secretary of Tun Abdul Razak. I mean, so basically right now, I mean, the Prime Minister is Najib Tun Razak, and back then, he used to be this political secretary to Tun Razak. So he knows what Tun Razak wanted to do with Felda. So I do agree with you when you say that it is under very good command.
Yep.
So anyway, now let's talk about people fighting about all this palm oil issue. So not only the settlers are not settling well about it. So not only the players of palm oil in Malaysia is not very happy with the ban, but I heard that today the Youth Parliament is also talking about palm oil. I didn't get the time. I didn't really get the time to catch it. But what do you say about that?
Well, I had the time just before we enter this room to monitor what's happening over there.
Oh yeah, it's live these days.
Yeah, it's live this day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to check out the Youth Parliament during our time, we were Youth Parliamentarian, but yeah, you guys didn't know about it because we didn't go live. So bad. Anyway, if you guys want to catch up the current Youth Parliamentarian debating in the Youth Parliament, stay tuned. I mean, you guys can check out the Facebook page of KBS Malaysia, Kementerian Belia dan Sukan Malaysia, KBS Malaysia. I think it's still live right now. They're still debating about it. Anyway, so what do you think about that? How is the support?
I think having FB Live really changed them. I mean, I can hear a lot of good arguments, matured in a way, right? I think the last one I really watched is a young chap from Johor.
All right.
It's a kind of fiery one.
Okay.
I can say. I mean, he sounded like he's in a political rally. I mean, something like that. But again, when
wait, is it that guy that play Quidditch or something?
Yeah, they said. Yeah, I check on this guy.
Yeah.
In his Facebook, he plays Quidditch.
That's very interesting.
That's very interesting.
You have a youth parliamentarian that play Quidditch. Come on, guys. So it just shows that youth parliamentarian, they are not all political suckers, all right? So they are normal human being,
I think
which is chosen by the youth.
Yeah, I think the overall the discussion and the debate, they are all good. They have some fun. It looks like they have some fun. Although,
all right. What about the facts and figures? Do they get it right?
Yeah, I think they get it because if I'm not mistaken, I heard they've been seeing a lot of the real players, right? Like
all right.
The national.
So they were engagement. So they don't just Google things up.
Yeah, I look at this young chap. I mean, the chap with the Quidditch chap, and then I look at it. He met with MPOB, which is the regulator of the palm oil, and then then he said something about meeting the president of.
Did they go and meet you? Because you would come on. We're talking about Felda. If they don't go and meet you,
I'm just an officer I'm just officer of a.
I'm very sorry because they didn't. Did they meet you or not? I mean, officially or unofficially, did they? Meet you?
I don't think so.
All right, now. So because they didn't go and meet Azwan Omar, I think we're going to take a break. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Akon. Smack that. Azwan Omar talking about palm oil and also Felda is on fire and smack that just now with Akon. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about palm oil. There's a lot of things to talk about palm oil. I only know that right now that Nutella and Ferrero Rocher is made out of palm oil, and Nutella is being owned by Ferrero Rocher. I thought palm oil, you see a lot of palm oil going around in the country. Every time if you drive through the highways, you see a lot of palm oil plantation. I didn't expect that Felda alone have 1 million plus acres of palm oil, and we export to the EU alone, 80 billion ringgit.
Let me make correct. The total.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Thank you very much, Azwan. The total export of
to the rest of the world.
to the rest of the world is 80 billion. So palm oil really worth a lot of money. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, last time during Tun Abdullah Badawi's time, we even bought like tanks using palm oil, just barter trade it with palm oil. I think this is one of the reason why people wants to ban it. Because why? Because back like a decade ago, we could buy tanks, like super tanks, just using palm oil, by just barter trading palm oil. We might never know that maybe in the future we can even buy like nuclear warhead using palm oil. Yeah, come on, it's worth 80 billion, bro.
Well, if you have the money, sky is the limit. I mean,
yeah, so we can even like build like a space station. Like Felda can build like a space station worth like 80 billion just for like, I don't know, export palm oil to Mars or something.
On that note, I just add up to your beautiful story just now.
All right.
I think Sheikh Muzaffar, our first astronaut.
Yeah, went and drank palm oil.
No.
All right. Okay.
You can go there.
Okay.
You can go there
because of that trade.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now you know it. We sent our first astronaut because of palm oil, and right now, people in the EU saying that we can't sell our palm oil to them anymore. So these are the things. All right. Anyway, let's go back to the story. Palm oil. What's going on with palm oil right now? The things that which is being done to help out, to ease out the problem. We don't know how. I mean, how it gonna go. But now let's go to Felda 2.0.
Yeah.
I see Felda 2.0 personally as a solution. Yeah. I see Felda 2.0 as the future of Felda. Do you mind explaining more on what is Felda 2.0?
To answer what is 2.0, we need to understand what is Felda 1.0.
All right.
So
okay.
1.0 is the one that been established by
1956.
1956. All right. The first settlement, Bilut, is opened in 1957, and the first group of settlers came into Lurah Bilut in 1958.
All right. Okay.
So right now, obviously they are the oldest, and they're celebrating the first group because in Lurah Bilut, as the first settlement, they have this rombongan. One come from Sungai Besar, another one come from Penang, one come from Raub. So they have this multiple location that the settlers originate from. Right. So I need to take this opportunity to commemorate. All right, the
60th
anniversary of Felda Lurah Bilut, the families and the people over there, because without them, the Felda 2.0 model, which is open, there is no Felda.
All right, so a big shout out to the people in Bilut. I know that you guys already had like a movie made out of you guys. That's awesome. Happy 60th anniversary, people. Hooray.
Yep. Okay.
To the people of Felda
Hooray
Bilut.
To the people of Felda Lurah Bilut. Again, let me I want to explain more. Felda 1.0 with Lurah Bilut is an experiment.
All right.
It's an experiment in the first place.
That went very well.
And alleviate thousands and thousands of people. They have jobs. The second generation can go to schools, can go to university, become professionals because of the success of Felda Lurah Bilut.
All right.
So Felda 2.0, right? Knowing that the sort of prospect that we're going to face in the future, like this, for example, this ban of palm oil from the EU, and probably if that thing took effect, the American probably want to buy to ban that thing, and the rest of the world want to buy. Now who's going to buy? So we need to come up with a solution fast, right?
Okay.
Right now, Felda 1.0 really overly dependent on what the harvest of their 10 acres of land.
Basically, just the commodity.
Just the commodity, right?
All right.
That is the money that give their family, their sons, their second generation, third generation. Okay, stop. So Felda 2.0, we need to relieve the experimentation, the experiment spirit. So Felda 2.0 in Felda Lurah Bilut is an experiment.
Okay.
Right? We want to create. This is the word. This is the keyword. I can say it. Environment. We want to using approach of open and connected to achieve a smart and sustainable community, right? Environmentally, economically, resilient and socially healthy.
All right, that's a lot of big words. There's a lot of big words, ladies and gentlemen. But let me just like put it in a very layman,
please help me with that.
maple kedai punya cerita lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, Felda 1.0 is to elevate the poverties. I mean the poor people. So basically, during back in 1956, in 1958, the first generation of settlers that was sent there. So basically, these are the poor people. So they were sent there. They were given land, which was 10 acres, to work on it, and from there, whatever they get, the outcome of that 10 acres is theirs, so that they can make a living out of it, so that their kids can go to school, so on and so forth.
Yes.
I'm just not sure. I mean, right now, the one living in Felda, how many generation have it been? I heard it's like 4th generation right now is living there.
Yes, in Lurah Bilot, the 4th generation. This, I want to set it up so the other people, the listeners out there know. The first group in Lurah Bilot, they came. The parents, the father.
Wait. A lot of people also doesn't know that in Lurah Bilot there's Chinese, Indian, and Malays.
Yes.
All right, we are just not talking about Malays over here. There's Chinese, Indian, and Malays.
Yeah,
and Lurah Bilot, they have like tokong, they have kuil, they have church.
Yes,
you name it, they have it. So they are like,
everything.
they are like the first multi-ethnic, multi-racial community.
Exactly.
One of the best, I think, and one of the first and one of the best.
And when the first generation came into that place, they use hack, they use lot of carpentry item. They cut the wood, they cut the balak by themselves. They literally flatten up that place from a huge jungle by themselves and use the woods, use the timber to build their own house.
So, ladies and gentlemen, they are the real Tarzan of Malaysia.
Exactly.
They are the real Tarzan.
They went there, they built their house, they cleared the jungle, and then after that is done, they planted the first the rubber plantation over there, because at that time there is no
palm oil
yet.
Yeah.
And then they call up their families to move to Lurah Bilot. So the first the first generation, the earlier settlers in Lurah Bilot is the unsung hero of the Malaysian spirit.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, that we are talking about, this is 1956, 1958, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine those days? These people, they went there, they went into the forest and made something out of it. I think, Roy, I'm very sorry, but I think we're going to take another short break. And this is at Shireen Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are back with me, Ridwan Rosli, and also Azwan Omar, talking about palm oil and Felda 2.0. So going back to Felda 2.0, Roy, a lot of people I bet a lot of people doesn't know what Felda is all about, and right now we're talking about Felda 2.0 after 60 years.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, you described Felda 2.0 in brief just now, and let's talk more about Felda 2.0.
Yeah.
So, is it all about infrastructure?
No.
All right. So, what is it all about?
So first of all, we need to understand Felda 2.0 not just infrastructure alone.
Okay.
Right, it's an upgrade. We didn't have to build new things, right?
Okay.
It's just whatever the necessity. Infrastructure obviously is one component of it.
All right.
But the most important is to provide them an enabler for the settlers to survive.
All right.
Right, and face to create a resilient community. We need to provide them something that they can use. Right. We need to say, like, for example, like Felda Lurah Bilot under Felda 2.0 project with the support of MCMC,
Okay.
SKMM, the first ever fiber high-speed broadband will be laid to Lurah Bilot. Then those in Felda Lurah Bilot, 6,000 of them can experience the same speed of high-speed broadband like in Kuala Lumpur.
No, but to be fair, even some of us in the Klang Valley doesn't get that.
Yes.
So, but they're getting that in Lurah Bilot, ladies and gentlemen. So those are some of the basic stuff of Felda 2.0. They got like super fast internet. Anyway, for any of you guys outside there that you have any question at all, or you want to comment anything, just drop a comment on the Facebook Live of My Suara FM. Just drop a comment over there. We're gonna check it out. Or if you are like super rajin and you want to call because you want your voice to be heard on My Suara FM Hot Talk, call to 03 220-12593. I repeat, 03 220-12593, or just drop us a Facebook comment on My Suara FM Facebook page.
Yes.
Anyway, Felda 2.0, fast internet, some of the infrastructures. What else?
We need to realize that depending heavily or solely on a commodity itself is not sustainable.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all about service industry,
yes,
and there's
right
a lot
now,
of other type of industries going on.
54% of our nation's economy are being generated and supported by service industry.
All right.
So service industry, some part of it is like a tourism.
Okay.
Tourism create a lot. In domestic tourism alone, I can share with you 70 billion ringgit spent by Malaysian in the domestic tourism country. So what we want is just 1% of it.
All right.
Or
Okay.
0.1% of it to flow through to Felda. That's why the idea of Felda, the approach that we take for Felda 2.0 is open and connected. Too long Felda has been not sidelined because they live by their own. They have the money. They live in the secluded. They call it themselves as a country within a country.
All right.
Now,
So Republic of Felda.
Republic of Felda.
All
The
right.
chairman is the president of that country.
Okay.
But no, under the leadership.
Yeah, because you guys have like 1 million acres, right? So why not?
Acres, so why not? The settlers only have few million acres. The rest will be used.
And you
for
guys
us.
already have your own song, Felda song,
Felda
and
song.
you guys
we have a tower of our own.
yeah, they have their tower of their own. They have their own song, ladies and gentlemen. Do check out the Felda song on YouTube or something. It's pretty lit, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty interesting. The first time I've listened to the song was back then last Saturday. Last Sunday in Lura Belot. So it's a very interesting song. Do check it out on YouTube. And you guys obviously have your own flag. So you have your own flag, you have your own song. That's it. You guys are already like a country by your own self.
Yes, but again,
and with like 70 billion, like 80 billion worth of stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, again, but the most important thing is if we continue to do that, you just deny some of the benefit and the rights of to being a Malaysian citizens to the people, the Felda settlements.
Exactly.
The settlers. So that's why under the leadership of Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Syarif Samad, we use the approach of open and connected. Right now, do you know that all the upgrades and some of the upgrades in Felda Lura Belot,
All right.
I mean, they were all supported by our what we call as Rakan Muafakat Felda 2.0.
All right. So these are like corporate sectors.
Yes.
They just shows that how much they believe in the idea of Felda 2.0.
No, exactly. Because of what? First of all, I need to tell thank you to CIMB Bank, the CIMB Group for donating the most, the highest contribution in Felda 2.0 project for Felda Lura Belot. Thanks to others also like Yayasan Hasanah of Khazanah National Berhad. They all partner because they
But
believe
they
in
cannot be the newest and the biggest contributors. The biggest and the newest contributors contributing to 50 million ringgit is no other people than our own Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak, because he said he gonna match every ringgit to ringgit. Every single, I mean, because the Felda said they want to spend 50 million.
10 million per settlement. So
Five-
this year, five settlements.
5 settlements is 50 million. Said that Najib Tun Razak said it's all right that he settled the other settlers, the other 5, which the cost of 50 million ringgit. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So that's pretty hard to beat, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have like more than 50 million, yeah, why not?
Well, the honorable Prime Minister himself, he is the minister responsible for Felda, because Felda is an agency under the Prime Minister's department.
And even back then, I mean, even on Sunday, I heard that Kunan, not Kunan, Tok Nan, Datuk Adnan, the
Datuk
Chief
Sri
Minister, Datuk Sri Diraja, the Chief Minister of Pahang, were very, very supportive. And there are, I heard that he's approving another 40 acres.
Yes.
Of,
let me quote what he said.
Yeah.
40 acres, we can give you 400 acres of forest reserve
Uh-huh.
for you to maintain and reforest and do a reforestation to restore back the glory of the forest reserve Klau to the old days. So right now, the idea of Felda 2.0, not just internets and a lot of things, we also look at environmental sustainability. That's why we are planning to restore the Hutan Simpan Klau to its previous glory, and Sungai Bilut and Sungai Kertau. You cannot find a settlement that has two rivers flow into the settlement. So Sungai Bilut will be taken by Yayasan Hasanah to restore back to class 1.
All right.
Pristine, you can drink directly. And Yayasan Sandabi, we are pushing right now with Yayasan Sandabi so that they can sponsor to restore Sungai Kertau, which is another rivers that flow into Lurah Bilut. So again, if you want to use ecotourism, a service industry or tourism, you need to make sure your environment, your warisan alam semula jadi, your khazanah negara,
flora and fauna.
Yes, exactly. We need to preserve, because what I heard, the Xi Jinping, the president of China, said mountains and rivers are more valuable than gold.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Felda 2.0. After 60 years of Felda 1.0, it's now time for Felda 2.0. We're going to take a short break and listen to 7 Years Lucas Graham. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in Mysore FM Hot Talk with me, Ridwan Rosli, and Azwan Omar, and we are talking about Felda 2.0 and palm oil. Just now, we got a question from one of our listeners on our Facebook Live on Mysore FM. Muhammad Fikri asked, what else for the youth? Apa yang belia dapat selain daripada internet laju? Internet laju bak hang boleh main Mobile Legend. Kau tak tengok lagi dia punya iklan video Mak Luffy, tengok boleh main Mobile Legend, bro. Okay, selain daripada boleh main Mobile Legend, selain daripada internet laju, what does the youth get?
So like I said, the first enabler, the most important enabler is internet connections. Right?
Alright.
Through internet connection.
So they can to sell palm oil through Mudah and Lazada.
I mean,
alright,
we can.
Or Carousel. Alright, they're going to take photos of palm oil and we're going to sell it in Carousel. You guys want to buy a ton? Yeah.
Okay, under the approach of open and connected, right? Like I said, too long Felda has been secluded from the various part of in the country nationwide. So right now with the connected issues, open and connected, meaning to say that we are going to open the Felda settlement so other people to come in and visit. That's number one. Number two is about connected. So having the high-speed broadband, it opened up a lot more opportunities. Right, like you said right now, they say the e-commerce, the boom of e-commerce or industrial revolution 4.0, right? If Felda 2.0 can give that kind of enabler, so the youth out there can use the enabler to do good or to do better, right?
Exactly.
Let me add up, because one of the problem in Felda 1.0 is when you have a limited land of 10 acres, right? Okay. So the father owns the land, and then what happened to the children? And the Felda settlers, they are all very fertile. The fertility rate is good. They have lots of children, you know. Some houses like 7 and 8 and 13 kids. All right, so
and that is the second generation. What about the third generation?
What about the third generation at all?
So the multiplier is quite high.
And then they go out. From because they cannot find any suitable job that can give the living standard they want. So that's why they move out to go to the city center. They go to KL, Johor Bahru to work in the aim to get money and then work and then go back home once in a while during Hari Raya and visit their parents. And if the parents die, okay, if the parents die, right, only 1%.
Wait, just to share, when you say that the parents died, the first generation of Lurah Bilut, there were like 600 plus of them, right?
600 families.
600 families. So there were like 600 plus the head of the families.
Yes.
The first generation of Lurah Bilut. Yes. But if I'm not mistaken, only 20 plus are still alive right now.
Right now it's the second generation. The second generation also old. They're age like 58 or 60.
All right, so that's the second generation. Generation. So right now the youth are mostly the third or even the fourth generation.
Exactly, the third and the fourth generation. So what Felda 2.0 want to offer is something that you can stay in your settlement, you can stay in your kampung, but you can make money like you're staying in KL.
All right. So not only the way I look at it right now, when you describe it that way, the internet is just another channel. It's an enabler.
Enabler.
That's it. But another one thing that we can look into is, I mean, I don't know. I foresee that Felda in the future gonna be an eco-tourism spot.
Precisely. That is what we are aiming for.
Yeah, but however, it needs a holistic approach. I mean, the people in Felda need to be open about it. They need to be willing to do it.
Exactly.
And of course, they have, when it comes to natural stuff, natural beauty, they have everything over there.
Yeah. First of all, we are in a rural area.
Yes.
Right. We have. If you look from above, right. If you look at the plantations, all green. It's very nice, and then they have the square and all. That's a part of it. But again, if we can not manipulate, we can leverage on these things that a city don't have, like greens, rivers, mountains, hills. That is our source of income in the future. So
yes.
I agree. I do agree, because one part of it of Felda 2.0 is open. Be open, that's not just opening our doors.
Okay.
Right? The Felda settlers must open their heart. They must adapt to change.
To accept the tourists coming in.
Because the tourists, we never know. Because from in Felda Lurah Bilot, we have co-working space. We are aiming for the digital worker to come. And this digital probably come from España. Or come from United States or the European countries. And then the Felda Lurah people need to learn and be open about it, because the European, when
the lifestyle and stuff, and also English is very, very important.
Exactly. Yes.
I think when it comes to school in Felda, they need to be focusing in English. Because why? Because if you guys want to do ecotourism, I mean, you can learn a lot of other language. You can learn Mandarin and all, but at the same time, English is just like the basic of a lot of things.
That's why some of the second generation, the third generation, they are very good in English. And,
all right.
And if I'm not mistaken, yesterday there is one chap from Brazil. He came and visit the Felda Lurah Bilot.
Yes. Then, I saw
third
that.
generation.
Uh-huh.
He's the one who invited him to come.
Okay.
And then he's the one who offered the services. Drove him around, show the places, go uphill, and then take some pokok hutan, like pokok kasai, call it. There's like a berry, something that you can eat, and show the life in Felda Lurah Bilot.
Salah ambil pokok sakit perut.
Itu. But no problem. It's okay. But again, I do agree. Open and connected. The Felda 2.0, you must be open. You need to know that you're going to accept people outside, because we want to get their money. For you to have more income, if you buy and sell within the kumpulan Felda, the money is just like that. So we need to. But that's why how Felda can get into the situation right now, because we are selling our palm oil overseas, not really for the domestic consumption. People from overseas give us money to create what Felda is today. So
yes,
the same spirit,
because they buy things.
Yes, the same spirit must be translated into the settlement level, so that the settlement are open, and then they can do business. You can open up cafes. You can open up hipster cafe.
I saw one guy. I saw one chap that opened up a cafe.
Yes.
A hipster cafe. But he said that the internet was slow. But anyway, now the internet is fast. So I think a lot more people can enjoy that. And one of the things that I enjoyed in Lurah Bilot was one is lemang Tok Ki.
Yes.
It was awesome. And there was like this other person, like this kakak sold ayam golek.
Oh yes.
The ayam golek madu, it was perfect, I tell you. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna take one last break for today. We're gonna come back and then do the wrap up, ladies and gentlemen.
Come back and not come.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Come back. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Maroon 5. Don't wanna know. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are back with me, Ridwan Rosli and Azwan Omar, talking about Felda 2.0 and also palm oil in today My Suara FM Hot Talk. So this is like our last session for today. So Roy, Felda 2.0.
Yep.
It is just being launched.
Yep.
What is your hope and your dream of Felda 2.0?
Well, before that, I would like to take the opportunity to shout out to my friend Sheikh Nizamuddin,
All right.
Sheikh Kasim, he shared with me a news. There is another EU member supported us not to ratify or support the European Parliament resolution, which is the UK. So thanks again, Sheikh Nizamuddin, for highlighting that thing up. You should come here also once in a while, although you are very busy in Wisma Putra. But again, my hope for Felda 2.0. My hope if Felda is the same hope that the YB Tan Sri Syarif Samad said. He wants to see Felda settlement, all 317 of them. 317 settlement around Malaysia, except Sarawak, including Sabah. Sabah is included, wilayah sahabat.
Alright.
We want to create a community, a smart and sustainable community.
Alright.
Right? Like I said, all the big words that I said before, we want to see that to happen. And I hope the Felda settlers and the second generation and the third generation and the fourth probably for Lurah Bilut to support this thing. How to support? Just be part of it.
Alright, Roy, very sorry to interrupt you, but we have one last question again from Muhammad Fikri. I'm going to read this out in Malay. Dana usahawan IKS and also pelancongan. Kemandiran masyarakat Felda itu sendiri menjana pendapatan sendiri. Ada tak bukti contoh jelas kawasan Felda kini yang telah berjaya dalam bidang tersebut? Boleh kongsi Tuan Azwan. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, we got one listener who's asking that we were talking about self-preservation. We are talking about self-sustainability of Felda 2.0. And also, sorry, Felda itself. But however, we have one listener asking is there any proof of that going on already right now? But I think actually Muhammad Fikri, I think one of the thing that we can already see, I mean, although it's a minority cases, we have, for example, like the guy that we talk about who come out with his own cafe, those sort of things. You want to add up a lot more other things?
First of all, Mr. Tuan Fikri, Tuan Fikri, bolehlah saya cakapkan di sini bukti kemandirian self-sustain or self-preservation of I think it testified in Lurah Bilut.
Alright, so maybe not the majority yet. So that's why we are pushing for Felda 2.0.
That's why we're pushing 2.0 because right now not many. If there is people like that who self-sustain, who wish, who already how should I say, free themselves from all the hardship in the Felda settlements, right? We want to meet them. We want them to be the champion of Felda 2.0.
Alright, so Muhammad Fikri, please, if you know anyone in Felda, so ladies, this is not just to Muhammad Fikri, to all the listeners outside there. If you know anyone in Felda, or you yourself right now is living in Felda, you want to do something great.
Second generation or third generation.
Second generation, third generation, you want to do something great. Beside approaching the Majlis Belia Felda, I think it's fair to say that you can approach Mr. Azwan Omar straight through his Facebook, drop him a message and say that, sir, I want to change my life. And then one day after that, he can come out with saying something like, saya sudah berjaya, anda bila lagi. So those kind of things. So don't feel shy. Drop him the question.
Yes. Talk to your managers, okay? Talk to your managers.
Talk to the managers. Talk to the managers of Felda, or you can communicate directly. If you're a young chap, you don't want to talk to the managers because the manager is like a bit older or veteran. You can talk directly to Mr. Azwan Omar. He's more than willing to help. Drop him a message on Facebook or something.
Yeah, add me.
Alright, add him up and follow him on Instagram. Don't block him or report user on him. So if not, he'll get in trouble. Anyway, so Felda 2.0, Felda 1.0, below has been 6 decades. So Felda 2.0, is there a time limit for Felda 2.0, Azwan? No, not yet for the time being.
No. Right now, we are focusing to transform as many settlements into a Felda 2.0 status.
Alright, so I believe this is also a part of TN50 or Transformasi Nasional 2050, where we are looking towards that.
That's why the Prime Minister support this thing.
Alright.
Because having a community that is smart and sustainable is all the idea of TN50 for a rural. And the most important thing, this is not just some Elmina or whatever, a smart community in a suburban or urban. No, this is rural. This is new This is prime. This is how should I say? None other who come out with this model.
All right, wait. There's another one point. They have like 100,000 plus families of 100,000 plus settlers in Felda. Is it
112,635 settlers
with their families?
Yes. The families you give a ballpark like times 5. So
or second generation, third generation, fourth generation.
So altogether, I can say we are approaching around 1.5 million.
So basically, there's 1.5 million people in Felda. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that Felda, from the program, from the settlers of Felda itself, we already have ministers. We have great people coming out of Felda making great changes. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Azwan. Is it?
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of already like great people.
Yeah, we have GAPROF. GAPROF is an institution. It's a team of successful Felda settlements, children of Felda.
Oh, so is it a Gagasan Professional?
Yes, Gagasan Professional Felda, something
like
that.
So it's called GAPROF.
That is head by Tan Sri Rosali.
Head by
of Puncak Niaga.
All right, head by Tan Sri Rosali of Puncak Niaga. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have talked a lot on palm oil and also Felda 2.0. It's like a crash course on what's going on with palm oil and also what's going on with Felda 2.0. If you have any more questions, just drop the message or drop the comment on the Facebook Live of My Suara FM. Any last word before we go, Azwan?
So my not like actually last word. I would like to come again probably one day.
No, obviously we would love to have you.
But
it's not easy to get Azwan over here.
Palm oil or Felda 2.0 or Felda itself. I wish all of you listeners out there trust Felda that we are right now moving to the right direction. We already taken a lot of steps to restore Felda to its former glory. That's why we have Balik Asal hashtag.
Alright, so Balik Asal. So the hashtag is Balik Asal. So go back to original.
And then after that, we are also restructuring back the way of Felda's how Felda operate. We will use the spirit of open and connected. We no longer want to be seen as very exclusive. We want to be inclusive. We want to be part of the Malaysian as a whole. So I urge all the listeners out there, trust us, trust Felda. I know we have a lot of issues with Jalan Tanah Semarak whatsoever, but hey, we already settled that thing up. We already take back the land. The land is ours. The land is Felda's, right? So you should be okay and support Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Shariq Samad as the chairman of Felda. He is trying his best right now. I know I'm beside of him. I can see how hard he works to restore back Felda at its own glory. And obviously, with that, and I hope also Felda 2.0 will be accepted by the rest of the settlement, because the key component of the success of this Felda 2.0 is the community itself.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Felda 2.0 is all about the community itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Mr. Azwan Omar.
Thank you.
Special Officer to the Chairman of Felda. Thank you very much for being here. Anyway, we, My Suara FM, would love to hear from you again, maybe 6 months from now, because we want to know what's going on, what's the update on Felda 2.0. And to the listeners, thank you very much for tuning in to My Suara FM Hot Talk with me, Ridwan Rosli. Next week, same time, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Every Wednesday, we're going to talk about something which is more lit next week. So stay tuned again to My Suara FM Hot Talk with me, Ridwan Rosli, next week. So it's me, signing off. Adios. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.